is MuseMedicina. I got a plop today, a little plop message, because I'm restructuring all my offerings in 2020. So today I want to talk about a tonic. So every Tuesday, you are going to get a Tuesday tonic with Muse Medicina. And we're going to talk all about what tonics are, how tonics work, how do you, to make it a verb, tonify, what are you trying to tonify, and etc. and so on and so forth. So today I'm just going to do a little explanation of what is a tonic. This is an example. This is red wine. So red wine tonifies the blood. What tonify actually means is adding to. It gives energy to. Sorry if this is late for some of you. I have a baby. He likes to stay up. He went to sleep. He woke up. You know how it goes. So that brings me to my red wine. Ever since I gave birth, I have been really favoring red wine. I also, in my long time back lineage, have French ancestry from, I don't know how many of you knew, but the conquistadores in New Mexico and Mexico, many of them were actually French because the French sent their criminals on the ships to the New World, kind of as punishment. So I have one of those criminals in my French ancestry, and red wine has just been for me since I gave birth because I lost a lot of blood during birth. There's something called the law of signatures. That means if it looks like that, it treats that, or the doctrine of signatures. And you'll see this cross-culturally in Chinese medicine, in old Western medicine, like Hippocrates' Western medicine, that there's something called the law of signatures, which means like treats like. So anything that looks like blood, resembles blood, like beets, for instance, is going to tonify the blood or add to the blood. My grandfather, who was a Mexican American, if you will, I don't like that terminology, but for understanding, from the El Paso region. I don't believe in borders. The borders crossed us. We didn't cross the borders, but that's where his people were from. Mestizo man. His tonic was tequila, and he had a shot of tequila every day. Just one shot, mind you, which we'll get into. He had a shot of tequila every day como su tónico, like his tonic. Alcohol, different kind of alcohol, quickens the blood or adds energy to the blood, thins the viscosity of the blood, which is why drinking too much alcohol can be really, really dangerous, right? So the reason why it came to me to talk about tonics today is because the idea of a tonic is something that we lost in our culture. Personally, I didn't even hear of what a tonic was until I started Chinese medicine school at 24 years old. I'm 36. So good. We've lost the idea of what a tonic is. So a tonic adds. Now, it's not just like a quick fix where you all of a sudden you're better, right? It is a consistently taken something, has herbs in it, or it's a food, or it's like an amalgamation of herbs, or it's in alcohol. I was talking to one of my best friends about feeling the call to drink red wine since I've had my son, and feeling a little guilty about it because in our society it's like, oh, don't drink, and if you're breastfeeding, da da da. Mind you, that's a very westernized thing, and I honestly think it's because Western medicine doesn't want people to have their own agency in what they choose for themselves, and because we've come so far away as a culture from this idea of just a little bit adding a lot over a long term. This is a very quick fix culture, right? So there's something very different about drinking a glass of red wine de vez en cuando, like here and there, as opposed to like drinking a bottle in one night, right? That's not tonic. The difference between a medicine and a poison is dosage. So a tonic is something that you take a little bit of here and there or over a long period of time or consistently, that adds to the health of your overall well-being. So when I lived in China, within the Chinese culture, because of Chinese medicine, the Chinese people would do different things that they thought everybody did, right? So for instance, there would be tonics for different times of the month for women depending on the time you're menstruating. So you would take different herbs as a tonic post menstruation than you would take leading up to menstruation, because you don't want to overdo it and then you bleed too much, right? So these are little subtle things set in the culture. There are many different kinds of tonics for many different kinds of cultures. So it's helpful to understand your ancestry, to know a bit about your ancestry, so that you can give yourself the kind of medicine your body needs for your DNA, right? Which is why I think I'm so drawn to red wine specifically, in part because of my French ancestry, as well as because of my presentation post childbirth of needing more things to add to my blood body. But if I drink too much red wine, I'll get really sick. Like my whole body will be heavy and hurting, because it's like my body post birth isn't strong enough to support that much movement, okay, and that much alcohol. So also in our work hard, play hard culture here, when we're coming back to tonics, not necessarily red wine, work hard, play hard culture in the United States of America, in Western culture, is this go, 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 do, work, work, work. And then the weekend comes and you play, right? It's depleting. There's also this false expectation of consistent productivity, even in the wintertime, even when you're menstruating, right? Where you're going, and you're not giving yourself the opportunity to rest and restore. A tonic is about resting and restoring. Or if you need to go, your tonic is the thing that you come back to, whether it's a tea, like a nettle tea, a raspberry tea, that gives you the opportunity to consistently add to your beingness, so that you are not depleted. Okay, the tonifying, you tonify deficiency, okay, whereas you disperse excess. So these are these underlying associations or understandings of medicine before the complex came in and bulldogged and bulldozed our ancestral natural understandings of what we need. Organic red wine, my favorite. Yeah, Johanna. Okay, let's see what else I have on my notes, and then I'm going to end. I want it to be quick. So a tonic is something that tonifies. A tonic is something that adds to. Dosage matters. Difference between a poison and a medicine is dosage. Tonics are long sustained additions to our constitutional well-being for the greatest good of our health outcomes. Okay, so a glass or two of red wine a week-ish is going to keep my blood flowing nicely. Okay, it's going to keep adding to my blood body. But if I drink too much red wine in one night, it's going to fuck me up. Okay, just like alcohol in general. My abuelito had 1 shot of tequila a day. It was listed in his prescriptions. When he lived in a assisted living with other elderly people, he was allowed 1 shot of tequila a day anytime he wanted, and my tios and tias would actually provide bottles of tequila, but he would only have 1 shot a day. He wasn't a lush. He wasn't drinking it all the time, right? And he lived until he was 98. And I think he chose to die because he was mad at people. He was a funny guy. I miss that guy. Um, but uh, but his tonico was his tequilita. Now, if you add herbs to tequila, like a tincture, right? That makes it a different kind of tonic. So different herbs that you would add to your tonic create different outcomes and have different effects on different organs. Different foods are tonifying to different places in your body, whether it be your tendons and sinews or your spleen or your liver, etc. So as we go on Tuesdays, I will be giving a little piece of information as to my own way of tonifying my own vessel for whatever purposes. But for right now, you know what a tonic is. And I ask you, what kind of tonics do you have in your life? What do you give yourself a little bit of for a little extra, little oomph? I will also let y'all know abusing something is the opposite effect. When you start overusing things, they start depleting certain parts of you. For instance, your kidneys. Okay, you can read all about what depletes your kidneys. Okay, so, ooh, somebody said they tried pulque for the first time. Girl, pulque is my shit. I love that shit. When I was in Mexico, I was like, dang, why can't I get pulque in the United States? But yes, that's perfect example. Drink too much pulque, but just a little enough, is really, really good. Um, Oh, pozole to go. Hi, Hita. Yes, I do want to get to you on menstrual advice. There's a law on menstruation, and I'm actually planning and writing a class right now to offer online for specifically for menstruation, mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical, and how you can heal your own menstruation from ancestral medicine, Chinese medicine, and all the different ones. Points of view that I know, because everybody has a different way. Okay, pues, thank you for watching. If you feel called for reciprocating this knowledge I offer, please Venmo at eutimia-montoya, PayPal eutimia@gmail.com, and Cash App MuseMedicina. I appreciate you sharing this. I appreciate anything you're able to offer to my little enterprise over here. And I will keep offering. Please tune in tomorrow for my Wednesday Wellness Tarot reading. Orale pues, muchísimas gracias, and happy research on your own tonifying natures. All right, ciao.